on this episode. Okay, you guys, just wait. Just hold on, hold the phone. I know you guys just saw the intro, so you know what movie I'm reviewing already. But just wait. Please, just give this a chance. I know some of you probably have already turned this off. But just give me my 2 cents. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm reviewing 2011's Hellraiser Revelations. I know some of you guys may have just sighed or said, Kyle, what are you doing? You guys, I gotta give my 2 cents about this. On the Junkie Movie Reviews. I don't remember what number of episode, this might be number 4. But I was cruising IMDb the other day, International Movie Database, if you guys don't know what that means. And somehow I got on the Hellraiser franchise. Go figure. And, came across it, and this is a 2.8 out of 10, you guys. And, so I rewatched it just now. This is the second time I've watched it. And both times, I have liked this movie. I don't know where the 2.8 stars comes from. If you guys feel strongly about this movie, leave it down in the comments. I would love to hear what's wrong with this movie. I'm going to give you my 2 cents right now. Alright, you guys, so basic plot about this movie is 2 kids, basically, they're fed up with their home lives. They're going to Mexico. They want to get laid, drunk, party, do the whole 9 yards. And while they're in Mexico, they obviously come across the puzzle box, which is how this whole thing gets started. I mean, that's basically the basis of this movie is these 2 kids that you're following. They get sucked in with Hellraiser, but I mean, they get their families sucked into it because they make it back home. This movie is a little topsy-turvy, like they got some twists going on in it. But I mean, so I don't want to give out too much of the information. But I mean, like, this is the first Hellraiser movie, because I was reading about the franchise a little bit. This is the first movie that has been written to be a Hellraiser movie since Part 3. 1, 2, and 3, those were all meant to be Hellraisers. But from my understanding, everything, like, from Bloodlines all the way to Hellworld, you guys, those were movies that were just written to be movies, but they just threw Hellraiser stuff into them. So I understand why the rest of this franchise isn't that great. But when I watched this movie, it was such a breath of fresh air. You get to see tons of Pinheads, Cenobites, the box stuff. I mean, I feel like it's not getting what it deserves. I feel like this is a better movie than it's getting out there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to continue with the plot. Like I said, the 2 kids, Mexico, Cenobites, they get in with Pinhead. And so they are back at the family's house and kind of dragging the family into this. And that's basically the biggest, like, where we spend most of the time in this movie, is at the house. So, without giving too much away, I know I could probably tell you this whole movie and you might not care. But, if you've seen it. But for the people that have not seen it, I seriously, like, I went into this with 0 expectations after watching the last whatever Hellraiser movies, because I'm just going to be honest with you, they're not good. They're boring. They're not enough Pinhead, not enough Cenobite stuff, in my personal opinion. This is chock full of it. Alright guys, so the things I liked about this movie. Honestly, I loved the story. I felt like it worked. It made sense. I mean, the way they get the box in the movie makes perfect. It works for me. It's not one of those things that just kind of comes out of nothingness and appears. I mean, I felt like it was meant to be there when it's supposed to be, because I feel like that's how the box works. The box knows where it's going to be, who its next owner is going to be. It has a mind of its own, in its own way, I guess. I mean, I liked acting. Like I've said, I'm not a person who can tell good acting from bad acting. So whatever. I felt it was believable to me. I believed what these people were doing. Whatever. I mean, I liked it was fairly. What do I want? What's the word? I'm spacing on my words here, you guys. Typical Horror Junkies 519. Practical effects. Everything looked fairly good. I mean, yeah, I think there was a little bit of CGI. Nothing too noticeable is on my part, if there's any at all. I mean, I felt like it was just an all-around good story, good atmosphere. I mean, good dark feeling like the old Hellraisers had. It was just dark, dingy, and just so well done. I mean, it was very reminiscent of the first one in a lot of the ways, because I feel like like the things they did in the movie was reminiscent. I mean, whether it's just done in a different way is the best way I like to describe it. And well, I just can't. I don't really have a lot. There's not a lot of things I love about this movie, but I mean, there's not that much I dislike about it. Is the big issue. So I feel like it looked good. It felt good. I enjoyed it. Things I hated about this movie. I mean, this is the very first movie we have where Doug Bradley is not Pinhead, and I will be on your guys' side 100% that the guy they picked looked awful. Like, he had a very strong, square jaw. He had kind of a chubby face. It wasn't working for me. I hated the Pinhead, but I was just happy to see the character again. I mean, I looked past the terrible Pinhead and just enjoyed the character again. I mean, just seeing him as much as you do in this movie just carried it for me. Like, it was getting a little slow, with the family, just going through the motions of the movie. But then you get so much Pinhead that makes you just like, when Pinhead comes on the screen, I'm invested. I'm into it. This is where I want to be. This is my party here. But, the family part, I mean, it's a big part of the movie. But, I mean, 1 year starts, I'm like, oh, this is starting to slow down, you get Pinhead. I feel like they have a good, very even flow of this movie. And you don't get that with a lot of Hellraiser movies because, that's originally why I hated the first Hellraiser. Is because I was thinking Pinhead was more like Michael Myers and Jason prevalent throughout the entire movie. But, I mean, he's more kind of the climax, really, in any shape or forms. I mean, he makes lots of small appearances. But in this one, I feel like he was there a lot more. So that carried this movie for me. My biggest complaint of this movie is, I've already said it, this Pinhead is awful. I'm excited to see the next Hellraiser they're working on. They hired some different guy to be Pinhead. I mean, he has got the slender face again, kind of like Doug Bradley. So we can only hope. But you guys, if this is just because it's the new Pinhead, it's not worth hating this movie over, because this movie is actually overall good. I've watched it twice, so I feel good about saying this movie is not that bad. Like, I don't walk into this expecting 1, 2, or 3, because it's going to be a letdown. Expect, if anything, maybe one of the sequels after that, because it just goes downhill, in my personal opinion. I just rewatched every single Hellraiser, so I feel pretty confident in saying that. So, that is my 2 cents on this one, you guys. The goods, what I liked, what I disliked, the plot. But what would I rate this movie out of 10? I hope I don't get crucified for this, but I'm going to give this a 6. A 6 out of 10. In no way, shape, or form is this one better than 1, 2, or 3. Not even touching it. But you know what? I feel like this movie did something that deserves to be recognized. I mean, it brought back Hellraiser in the most real sense. I mean, because this is the first movie since Part 3 that was written to be a Hellraiser, and we need to honor that and respect that. I mean, I feel so bad for the Hellraiser franchises because after Part 3, I feel like the whole thing just got dicked. I just think it deserved more respect than that, because Pinhead, the Cenobites, or something I just read, his name wasn't supposed to be Pinhead, it was supposed to be Hell Priest. I mean, whatever goes with it, I mean, I'm in it. I'm invested in these movies, but I mean, this franchise just got so dicked off, it was just unreal to me. These other sequels. So when I first finally saw this one, a finally true try at being a Hellraiser movie since Part 3, I love it. I'm a fan of this movie. I think it deserves more recognition than it's got. If you guys have not seen this movie and you're into Hellraiser, check it out. You guys, it's sitting at a 2.8. We should get it up. I mean, it deserves more than that. I mean, I know my bad luck with puzzle boxes lately and I shouldn't be watching Hellraiser, but you know what? I think this movie deserves it. Stick that right back in there. But you guys, what do you guys think about this review? What do you guys think about this movie? Leave some comments in the description. I'll read them. I'll get back to you guys. But I really feel like this movie deserves more respect than it's getting. I mean, when I saw it at 2.8, I almost freaking lost my breath. It was just ridiculous. Because I feel like it was such a good opportunity. I mean, I know there's worse sequels out there than that one. I think that one's a step in the right direction, at least. What do you guys think? I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Horror Junkies 519, your host Kyle, signing out just until next time. I really hope I'm not getting crucified for this one, but I look forward to your comments. See you guys next time.